Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the madness. How is you? Are you okay? Can we get a refund on the county commissioners? They've spent all the money. There's no refund. No refund. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Glad you're doing well this morning. It's Wet Friday Eve. Yes, it is kind of damp outside. I was awakened to the sound of water falling onto the AC unit. That's how hard it was coming down. I'm glad you're here today. Welcome to the madness. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. And we've got interesting conversation. Well, good morning, El Cuco. Yeah. So we're going to talk about more about the noise ordinance, but its connection to other things. And I want you to kind of suspend disbelief just a little bit. Not much, because you do have to ask, you do have to say, what are they doing? The water sound was more than 60 decibels. It was. Find them. All right. Good to have you with us today. We do have quite a wet weekend ahead of us, a wet 4th of July. It is July 1st. We're halfway through the year. Today, scattered thunderstorms. Nope. Yep. Variable clouds, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon today. High near 85. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, few clouds, stray shower, thunderstorm possible, low near 73. Tomorrow for your Friday, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, then mainly cloudy in the afternoon with thunderstorms likely, high near 87. Chance of rain tomorrow, 80%. It's going to be wet all weekend. It is 74 in Milton, 80 Gulf Breeze, 74 in Navarre, and 74 in Pensacola. Glad you're here, my friends. Let's light this candle. Woo! All right. So we will get to the decibels and all that kind of nonsense. But we do have to talk about this. Let me get rid of this nonsense. We do have to talk about Elsa. That's going to be Elsa. It's not Elsa yet. It does not bode well for Florida. Look at that. Looking at probably the edge of this thing is like Monday. So we're probably looking at the middle of the week. For our area if it comes our way. So you got a week to prepare. You don't have to go crazy. Tropical storm Elsa formed overnight. There you go. It doesn't look well. Thank you, Romy. It does not look very nice. So the winds have sustained at near 40 miles an hour. Higher gusts, some additional strengthening is forecast during the next couple days. Has tropical storm force winds, and it goes out about 105 miles from the center. So good. Yay. It begins. Glad you're here, my friends. They should not have named Elsa first storm. Let it go. Let it go. Panic. It's fun. I'm not panicking. There's no panic in my voice, but I do just really hate it. It's my Friday, then off for 5 days. Of course, it's going to rain. You either wash your car, you're off. You've got bread and milk. Why do you want milk in a hurricane? Go bad. 850-771-0049. Oh, my goodness, my friends. All right. So here is my thought on the decibels. I want to get your input on this because while it sounds like it may be a little out there, nothing is disbelievable at this unbelievable at this point. I made up a new word. Nothing is unbelievable at this point. So think about this. You've got the Schebler lies. Oh, yes, you remember how he lied multiple times about the same thing that didn't really need to be lied about, right? Well, El Cuco on the gas stations, they're running low anyway. That's a story I don't know if I have for later on, maybe if we get to it. But the gas stations are running low. Gas and TP. So Schebler lied about the SCOP funds. You remember? Do you remember? Yes. And then he lied multiple times about it, several different lies. And they didn't hold him accountable. Oh, they gave him a reprimand for missing the SCOP fund deadline. They did not reprimand him for the lies. He's a liar. He lied to you. He's a liar. Now, while they keep pushing you off, and as is human nature, you forget about it and you move on. Now, you're still angry about it, but I will tell you, it would be hard to get people to show up to a meeting. It is. You're not angry enough to show up to a meeting about the lies. Oh, you're mad that you were lied to. Oh, remember this come election time. Now, while there's still some vocal citizens, there are multiple issues with this Board of County Commissioners. Shall we count them? The Waste Pro contract. That's an issue. The handling of the Schebler thing. There's just, good morning, Sherry. There's all kinds of issues with this group, these thugs, the Santa Rosa Mafia. I did this morning. There you go. Notice. Take notice. There's lots of problems with this board. Now, remember, after Schebler lied, the only one that was concerned about the lies to the people of Santa Rosa was Calkins. Remember, when Calkins brought it up, the other three jumped with both feet on Calkins. Remember that Bob Cole challenged his Christianity. Dave Peach told him to read a book. Colton Wright said he didn't have any experience and he was an idiot. Sam Parker, I think, was the worst offender, and he said nothing. He didn't defend him. He didn't say nothing. He kept there. He sat there with his hands over his chest. James Calkins is the only one that called out the lies. Now, then I want you to remember the thing that Dan Schebler brought up about trespassing. Let me kind of go over that because I want you to remember this. This happened just about a month ago. Santa Rosa County Commissioners tabled a request Tuesday night that would have allowed law enforcement officials to trespass people if they were on county property after hours and were not conducting official county business. County Administrator Dan Schebler said the request was made by the state attorney's office officials who encountered homeless people on the county property at early or late hours who don't have official business being on the property. The county attorney and I were approached by law enforcement that operates out of our facility here 24/7, and they've experienced, both personally and other staff have brought to their attention, experiences where they've been approached by individuals who are not here on county business. Schebler told commissioners at the meeting either they were just not here for the right purposes. Who determines what are the right purposes? And they approached us and asked if the board would sign a letter approving the authority to warn, so basically providing a trespass notification. So if you are, so it was homeless people, vagrants, and other people. Who are the other people? Now, this got tabled, it got pushed. They didn't pass it. But you have to wonder who are the other people? So they could remove you for any reason. This was a questionable thing. Yes, it's questionable. I want you to look at this board. Look at the pictures. Now, lies the trespassing push. Then there's this. There is now the noise ordinance. Now then, how do you connect all these things? Now this does take, I bring this up because you don't trust these guys as far as you can throw them. Is the noise ordinance, because look, is the noise ordinance a way to punish those who come to the meetings? Now, again, I understand it doesn't work in the incorporated, but a lot of those who are the most vocal don't live in incorporated. They live in unincorporated. I agree. Stay away, be quiet. And who knows what is next? Is this a way to punish people on purpose? But what would be the purpose of doing the noise ordinance except to punish you? There's already a noise ordinance. It was just too vague. But what brings it to light now? These new ordinances are just typical politicians' ways to screw us over by the book. Waste Pro, the Dan thing, all the lies, putting down Calkins, trespassing thing. Now, yes, there is more to come. There is more to come. And are you in the crosshairs? Are you the target? And when I'm saying you, I mean you. There are people, you know who you are. And what are they out to get specific individuals? Are they? Look, this could be very broad. The noise ordinance could be very broad. So, yeah, keep an eye on the VAR. Absolutely. Because they're unincorporated. Yes, I absolutely agree. And anybody that is against this board, anybody that challenges their decision is the target. Do you fear retribution? Maybe they have somebody pull you over. Maybe you get pulled over and you've done nothing wrong. Maybe you have a code violation on your property. Escambia County is going to say, yes. Oh, yeah. It's not a conspiracy if they're really after you. You have to be more specific, Mary. So, are these things geared to keep you quiet? There are some very vocal individuals at these meetings who don't live in incorporated. And they could be targeted. We were coming up with scenarios yesterday. What about this? What about this noise? Here's something. What if you're a church, a rural church, and we have tons of them. We have tons of them that are not in city limits, unincorporated. You have churches that are in the county. And what if prayer meeting goes on past 9? It happens. What if there's a service? Oh, what if you have a gospel group in and you didn't get a variance? You have a gospel singing group come in and you didn't get a variance because you're a church. Or what if you're just singing? What if your church is just singing after 9? What if your preacher is kind of loud? I'm a loud preacher. But what if your preacher is too loud? What if you're praying too loud in the church after 9 on a Wednesday night, Sunday night? This is reality, people. You would think, Keith, and I will tell you, the state of Florida had a noise ordinance thing that went away because of that. I don't know. I want to see if Wallace, what she thinks. Yeah, they're going to fine you. Well, I don't know. You have to pay if you're not paying the ticket. They'll take your money all day long. When you stop paying is when they put you in jail. But 3 of these guys with the red X voted for it. Dave Peach was absent, but he would have voted for it. He's not going to vote against that. He's going to be for that. Now, you have to ask yourself, and some people brought this up, who complained about the noise? Who complained about the noise? That would have to be an absolutely very, very small number of people. The percentage of people who've complained about noise has been very, very low. If it is not low, you have to show me the numbers. I'm not going to take these guys' word for it, for sure. Somebody's mama complained. I don't even know if that's right, Keith. I think Bob Cole got irritated. Somebody went boom, boom, boom past his house, and he says, somebody needs to do something. Oh, I can do something. That's what I think. Or he was talking to a neighbor and someone made a noise and whatever it is. But it's a small, and they do these things in a vacuum and affect the entire county, the entire unincorporated county, for a very small percentage, if there's any percentage. The only one that stands up for the county is James Calkins. Now, you can like or dislike James, whatever you want to do. I've met people on both sides. That's fine. But Calkins is the only one standing up for your rights. These other idiots are not. Yeah, well, the only noise they complain about is the BOCC meetings. Well, I don't know. It's more like a get off my lawn thing. But here's the connection. Is they don't like to be called out. And they're going to do whatever they can to punish you for calling them out. Raise the money, organizes like the communists, and vote their behinds out. Well, there's Recall Florida. Many churches are located in residential zoning, so they will have to have. That is my That is my concern, because it can be done that way. Listen, all these things, roosters, churches, all of that needs to be on the list. Now, I did talk to Lyle Kress yesterday, and he declined our nomination for heading up the group. He's busy. But I told him that we appreciate him and keep up the memes. However, we do need to have a group. And we'll come up with a cool acronym. And I'll try to work on that. But we need to get 100 people there at the next meeting on July 13th. At least 100 people. And everybody that shows up gets a slip of paper, and you get to ask the board, what about on the noise ordinance? What about this? Just one thing. What about this? What about my church? It's an unincorporated in the county. And I just need to know, are you going to arrest my pastor or find my pastor or my church? Are you going to find my dogs for barking? Are you going to ticket the cicadas, and the frogs? You got me? The babies, the loud sex, the farts, whatever it is. Yeah, your cat. But the whole goal is oppression. Now, Renee, I talked about this yesterday. The Southern Raceway, because it's a sporting event or whatever, they can get a variance, so they can break the sound law. Yeah, well, churches do need to organize, but that is what we need to do. Because you see, there's so many, they want vague when you've got issues. These guys are trying to control something you can't control. You need to, a variance violates equal protection. These guys are not for you. Loud hawks and owls. That's what the country is. You've got critters. There's critters. And they're trying to nanny state you. So, again, if you are in the county, unincorporated county, and they know who you are, these guys, if you are up there speaking, they know who you are. They know where you live. And they know that you are susceptible for anything. So if there is it's somebody complained, right? Because do they have to tell you that who complained? Somebody complained. And we came out with our little $3,500 decibel reader. Well, you're getting 5 to 8 for $3,500. We came out with our little decibel reader and measured the noise, which includes ambient noise, that's above 60 decibels. By the way, the critters at night, it's 64.5. So you don't even have to be personally in violation of it. It could be the frogs and the cicadas. So you are their target because you've spoken out. And even if you're in Milton or Jay, they can threaten you by getting at these others, the ones who are most vocal, who live in the county unincorporated. Oh, they're $3,500 each. Holy smokes. All right. So these decibel readers, which you can get from Amazon for $20, are $3,500 each, $40,000 total. So I want you to look at this picture. The four who are for it each need to pay $10,000. But it's more than 40,000. Do you understand this? It's going to be more than 40,000. Here is the reason, because you've got to enforce it. What does it take? How much money does it take for an officer to respond to a noise ordinance, a noise complaint? Yeah, well, so you got me? You got to count that. You got to count the time of the person answering the phone at the sheriff's office for a noise ordinance. The tickets that people are fighting so they don't have to pay them. What is the actual cost to this nonsense when there's other things going on? I would much rather them spend that time and that money policing the sexual predators in the county. And there's a bunch. What about the drugs? What about that? There are other things that need your focus, not mulch piles, not somebody's TV, not others and homeless and vagrants on the county property. I got you. We got to raise that money for the roads because Butthead didn't file the paperwork. But you get it. You get it's, I don't know, but it's you and I both know it's way over 2,500. But you and I both know that these guys do not have a clue about what's really going on in the county, or they're just turning the blind. You can't be that stupid. There's no possible way you can be that stupid. Now, whether you like them or not, they are successful businessmen. So they can't be stupid, which means there's something other going on. They're turning a blind eye to it. But listen, know this, they do not like to be challenged. And when you challenge them, watch for the wrath. The petition's up to 2,860. I don't know why this thing doesn't shift them right, but anyway, 2,860 is the number right now on the petition. Certainly, out of 2,860, which I'm sure will hit 3,000 today, you can find 100 people to show up at the July 13th BOCC meeting at 4:30 in the afternoon and line up for the public forum and challenge the Santa Rosa Mafia on their things. So get it, meaningless number. All right. So let's talk about the petition. Now, the petition is you get enough people to sign it. Rusty, somebody's going to, Rusty says, where do I sign? It's on the Milton Post page. It's on Milton Uncensored. It's everywhere. Look for it. Look for the petition. Yeah. And somebody can post it on here again. But the number is important. for a couple of reasons. It shows you that you're not alone. The other thing, too, is it gets the attention of media for some reason. Because when this thing first came up, the only one who covered it was WKRG. Why is it that KRG covers Santa Rosa stuff and WEAR does not? You have to get your news from KRG and not WEAR. Yes, Shari, we will. I don't like that they have those things on the same evening. It's not right. But their goal is to just overwhelm you. It is to put so much pressure on you that you have to shut up. Because look, they have the power of the county. They can turn code enforcement on you at the drop of a hat. And they will. They will. Hey, go check what's his face. He spoke up at the meeting, but that has nothing to do with it. I got a report that he's got mulch or he's got something too close to the street, or you got me. His TV's too loud. He runs a power saw, or he has a piece of farm equipment, or whatever it is. When they try to control the noise to this extent, there's nothing that they won't do. There's nothing that they will not do. Please share the petition. Ask everybody to sign it. Well, is that what they're wanting? You are a domestic terrorist when you fight against the government. Oh, by the way, our founding fathers were evidently domestic terrorists. This, my friends, continues to get bizarre. It is a weapon. Just like the thing to have you removed if you were not there for official government business, official county business. Now, who dictates what official county business is? They do. You are not on the agenda. And you want to talk about Schebler, we're beyond that. We're beyond that, and you don't get to talk about that. Now, it didn't pass. I get it. You get it. The noise ordinance isn't for city, it's for county. But they can manipulate these things and use them to intimidate. And that is the goal. This is the Santa Rosa Mafia. This is the mafia. Now, it's a stupid mafia, but it's a mafia nonetheless. They wield power. They take money. Organize and vote them out. But what is the damage that can be done before we get them out? That's always the issue. They are corrupt. Dave Peach is corrupt. Bob Cole is corrupt. Colton Wright's corrupt. Sam Parker has been corrupted. We must stand up. But this is right. It would be right to stand up. We have a problem here. I got you. I knew what you meant. Sorry. I didn't even read it incorrectly. But yeah, these guys must go. when they don't weigh these things, and look, they didn't even give a chance to discuss it. They just did it. They should hear my, I know, straight exhaust lawnmower. They can use anything against you. Well, Mary, I hope it'd be about dang time. We need to own this whole thing. Own it. And what about anything? What about this? What about that? The real cost might be whatever else the officers might have needed to be doing. Patrolling. Yes. Right. Now, you're going to have 8. So you're going to have 8 sound guys. You're going to have 8 sound guys with decibel readers. Very expensive decibel readers. And is that what their job is? They may be out on a call. Bombard the meeting. Yes. Well, you might. I don't think that. I just think you ought to be really sincere, not angry, but really sincere. I have a baby that's colicky and cries, and a lot of times that cries at night. Am I going to get a fine? What about that? What about my blender? What about my toilet runs loud? My AC unit has a clack in it. I'm trying to get fixed, but they can't find a part, but it's loud. My cow moos. You're not unincorporated. My cow moos a little loud. I've got coyotes on my property. And just question after question after question. You find the most mundane, stupid things and ask them, what about the noise this thing makes? I'm gassy. I have a stomach problem and I'm gassy. And I fart at 90 decibels. You got me? You come up with whatever it is. I burp. I get indigestion and I burp very loudly. I try to, but I can't suppress it. It's a loud burp. What about that? I can't help it. Can I get a variance for my burps? Can I get a variance for my farts? And be real sincere. I don't mean to be funny. I mean it to be sincere. We've got to be like this. They should have known it wouldn't go over well. Is it a distraction? All they're continuing to do is torque people off more. You're just adding insult to injury. Well, exactly, Donna. Exactly. There are some real issues, and these morons are not handling business. Freedom of Information Act. I know. Rose. Rose sneezes very loudly. Can you get a variance for your sneeze? You ever hear those people that yawn? Maybe they yawn really loud. I need a variance for that. And just go and ask for variances. Just go and ask for variances. So I can get a variance for that? Yeah. Well, do it. Good. God bless you. But you can't do it after 9. So you think it's a distraction. How do you think it's a distraction when it just causes more issue? And I'm not arguing with you. I just want to know your rationale. Because maybe it is. But is it really distracting? Because if they would have just kind of let stuff calm down, the Dan Schebler thing probably would have gone away. Just because people are people. But this isn't making it go away. This is just stirring the pot. If I fall and break my hip and scream, will I be fine? Probably. Unless you get a variance because you say next week I'm going to fall and break my hip. Can I get a variance for that? Yes, they will take a knee because they're un-American. They probably like the gay NFL, though. They probably like the gay NFL. 850-771-0049. You understand. These things are all interconnected to impact you negatively. It's all done to keep you silent and in control. Well, I don't want to get a fine. Because you look and say it could double, triple, right? They said the fines could double and triple. So if you are not compliant, they can continue. Hey, we've had another issue. Your frogs and such are. Yes, Mark. 91% of the residents live in unincorporated areas. And yes, those who are the most vocal at the meetings live in unincorporated. And they want to control you. Yes. But what do you do? The mafia, these guys, the mafia, the Santa Rosa mafia, are going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Open-ended, broad-based variances to cover us in advance. Ask about that. Ask about that. Just go and say, hey, things come up, and I just want to get a variance so I'm not in violation. I love that one. Oh, yeah, and then get the next person up. Yeah, can I get one too? Can I get one? I want one. And just own them. Because who gets the cannoli? I think they all need horses' heads in their bed. Oh, my goodness. Only one. 20% of the Board of County Commissioners of Santa Rosa County is for you. That's not good. At least there's one. Sam tosses you a splash pad. Woohoo! Why not stand up for my rights? It is dangerous. These guys are dangerous to your freedoms. And I'm not overplaying this at all. I don't think that this is an understatement or an overstatement. When will we hear if you made it to city? You have a bigger voice. Yes, and now they'd have some protections. Because right now, the way the noise ordinance is, they are subject to fines. Because the mafia wants to control you. And that's what they do. The Santa Rosa Mafia is after you. Intimidation and corruption. The balance of those that did not sign the petition probably don't even know about this ordinance. Yes, we must take action. You've got to let people know. Did you know the city equals more cronies in positions of power? Not necessarily. But do you want these idiots in charge of everything? I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't want these corrupt, and they are corrupt. They are corrupt. The red circles, they're corrupt. And every day, in every way, they prove it to you. A noise ordinance signals corruption. In this case, the Waste Pro contract, it's corruption. That's corruption. The trying to delete the negative comments, that's corruption. Them trying to keep you off of county property, it's corruption. Them lying to you and covering that up, corruption. It's corruption. These guys are the mafia. And they did a political hit job on James because he didn't follow along. And what does it take for you to kind of go, I can't stomach it anymore? These things are all connected because of corruption from the mafia. Public property has a strong case law. Well, it didn't pass. The whole thing with the trespassing didn't pass, but it was the thought that they tried to do it. I know there's a lot of issues with incorporating Navarre. I get it. But there's a lot of issues in not incorporating Navarre now, unless you do something about the mafia. And who's in charge? Or is it a cabal? Are they at a board meeting as they're in their what is it, the country club in Destin every weekend, talking about things, smoking their cigars and plotting your demise because you are peasants and you stand in their way? Freedom of Information Act, I think that we ought to demand emails and texts and everything. It ought to all be surrendered. The mafia isn't going to give that much clout. Yes, relentlessly. I don't know. Renee. But these guys are just the worst. The absolute worst. I don't even know if you can call them human beings. Scum of the earth. Because the reason they're scum is because they are trying to intimidate the people. Now, you may think that's a little strong. But when they are pushing this kind of noise ordinance thing, it's not even reasonable. These are not even reasonable things. That's intimidation. Because everybody's asking questions now. Well, what about this? What about this? That's intimidation. It's a lot like the IRS, the tax laws. You could be at violation for any time for anything, and you don't even know it. You don't even know. Well, you're in violation of this. Oh, I didn't know. Well, here's your fine. You get me? This is what it's about. And the only way they can prove me wrong is by rescinding it. And I don't think they will. Yes. The Sunshine Law is supposed to protect us, but it doesn't. I wonder what's going to happen at that, Renee. What's the next shoe to fall? What is the next thing to happen from these guys? It won't be good. It will not be good. I can guarantee it. Yeah, they just pass notes from each other through the staff. Here is a suggestion. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to hold off on that thought because it could get a wild discussion. More subdivisions. But you've got the mafia that is out to get you. And they are, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. I don't know. You tell me if there's a better solution. You tell me if this isn't vote them out. But you've got to be able to do that. You got to have the power to do that. And people go, well, what's the cost to have an election to do that? I don't know. Or do we have what are the steps to do that? Let's find out and let's do it. Let's find out and let's do it. Jerry Cooey had posted a picture of he and Governor DeSantis a week or so ago, shaking hands. And Jerry Cooey had posted on there, says, only the governor and I know what I said to him. And I just said, I hope it has something to do with the corrupt Board of County Commissioners in Santa Rosa. I hope. I want Governor DeSantis to know this stuff. Keith knows the sign guy in Midway. Well, we need to talk to him. They'll do in other areas just what they're doing in Pace. Yes. It is corruption at a weird level. And it is a strange event. What happens next? What freedoms are they going to take from you next? Or is it going to be a corrupt thing that they do, like lying about FDOT or whatever, and then another little ordinance, and it goes back and forth? Limit their power. Limit their power. But they will, I don't know, they'll grab power however they can. Not sure Jerry's still fighting that corruption. He seemed fine with the lies. Jerry Cooey, and I like Jerry, but he seemed fine with Dan lying to everybody, to him, to the county. That's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And the corruption from the Board of County Commissioners, the mafia, needs to be done. Finished. Because you can't stand it anymore. You cannot take anymore. Do you trust any of these guys except Calkins? Do you trust Dave Peach? Yes or no? Just write Dave Peach, yes, or Dave Peach, no. Do you trust Bob Cole? Bob Cole, yes. Bob Cole, no. Do you trust Colton Wright? Colton Wright, yes. Colton Wright, no. Do you trust Sam Parker? Sam Parker, yes. Sam Parker, no. Do you trust them? And I don't know. At the end of the day, we have Grover over here in Pensacola. Oh, I know. Grover is... So Ramona says she only trusts Calkins. Donna says no on all four. Peach, Cole, Wright, Parker. Kim says Dave Peach, no. Nobody trusts them. No. Colton wrong. Nice one, Mary. But you get the issue. These guys have no credibility and no trustworthiness. Nobody trusts them. What about at the next county commissioners meeting, everybody has a sign that says, "We don't trust you," or "No confidence." We try to get people to show up at the Dan Schebler meeting with signs. Nobody had a sign. Nobody had a sign. You get a let's do signs. No confidence, and pass them out. That's all it says. No confidence, and hold them up every time they speak. But America. Yeah. You've got to do something. No confidence signs. Yellow shirt crew, we do not consent. Well, they got those shirts out really quick. Signs held up. No confidence. No confidence. We have no confidence that the mafia will do the right thing. We have no confidence that the mafia has your best interest in mind. Use that picture you put up, no signs on all those, and yes, on Calkins. Well, we could do that. We could do that. I think I'm just going to post this on Facebook, this sign, and then I'm not even going to tag it. I'm just going to put this picture up. And I'm going to put, be done with the Santa Rosa Mafia or whatever. I don't know. Me in the parking lot blow our horns. But under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes. Okay. 1 minute if it's continuous. 5 minutes if it's intermittent. Just keep that in mind. You gotta do it right. We don't want anybody getting fined. No confidence is the sign. So we got to do something. We must do something. And doing nothing is not an option. Ignoring it, letting it slide is no longer an option for you, Santa Rosa. It's corruption. And these guys are corrupt. Robin Bachman of BTO. He's taking care of business. That's the way it works. All right. Got to get out of here. It's Thursday. It's going to be wet. God bless you. Like the video, share the video, and we will see you again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for more Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thank you so much.